was very tired.
You already done it, but give it up for John Woo, everyone.
All the friends and for giving me such a great support, and I really appreciate that, and for so many years, and thank you for still remember me and in my movie. And also need to thank South Studio. They have tried very hard to make a beautiful copy, and also, anyway, just thank, greatly appreciate for everyone.
John, I know you're a big cinephile and you love movies. What does it mean to you to be able to have your movies playing in theaters again, especially from this period of your career?
Well, it has been a long time, I haven't seen a movie on the big screen, I love theater, I love cinema, and now it seems to me it's hard to find any movie worth watching, But in the meantime, I'm not a big fan of a sci-fi movie, so all I can do is watch the whole movie in my home. Yeah.
Now, you like all kinds of movies. You love musicals, you love French New Wave. I heard one of your favorite movies is Happy Feet as well. One of your favorite movies is Happy Feet by George Miller.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love, basically, I love, all kind of movie. I even love the Western as well. I greatly admire the French New Wave and the French director and the French film when I was young. And then I also have, such a big influence from all the French film. So I grew up with the French. I grew up with the European film. In Hong Kong we can watch everything, every kind of movie, from all over the world. And actually, when I had a chance to making all of the movies like The Killer and Hot Boys, and even Wednesday Thief, A Bear Tomorrow. Actually, it all was trying to homage the old-time French film. So it looked pretty different from the other movie, I think.
Now, for this movie that this audience just watched, and a lot of them watched it for the very first time, this was, you had done a lot of gangster movies up to this point, and for this one, weren't you trying to do something a little more like BOILED or Dirty Harry for Hard Boiled?
Yeah, every movie I made is for a reason, and then based on that reason, I create a story or something like that. In Hong Kong, most of the film I shot was without a script. I did everything on the set, I write and I'm sitting on the set, and the old time we have so much freedom. Okay, for the reason I made Hard Boiled, when in the 1990s, there were a few things that had made me feel very angry. And I was so upset about it. The first thing was in our neighbor country, there was a psychopath who had injected baby food, injected poison into the baby food and put it into the supermarket. and he had killed a couple of child, so it had made me so much angry, and then because I love babies so much, and then as there's some people who do that, horrible thing, And the other thing was the crime in Hong Kong was so bad, and then the gangsters they are smuggling the guns, all kinds of guns, from other countries, and then they even have much bigger, armed power than the police force. So, and the police force was so frustrating, and then the gangsters, they're using guns, they're shooting people on the street, and robbing banks, and then it's horrible. It made me so angry, so I think, and then I came with the idea, maybe we should have kind of like a Hong Kong Dirty Harry, So I combined all these things to make up the story, and then for the psychopath, originally we asked Tony Leung to play the psychopath, but later I've changed my mind, because such a good actor, I don't want to. I didn't want him to get a bad impression for the audience, and then when I saw the older movie, I was sort of everything in anger. When I'm shooting like the heroes shooting with the bad guy, I would like to do it harder and harder, and let them fire more and and kill more, and then we really need someone to defend for the justice and fight for the justice, and to have an honest life, So we really need an honest cop, at that moment. And I try to encourage the police force that we can do it, we can make it, we can, we can defeat them, So so that's why this movie, all the action sequences was so long, because the hospital scene, especially the hospital scene, was so long, So, and then because I just couldn't stop whenever we do the action, all the bad guys, all the bad people's image all in my head, I just, okay, when I look at the stunt guy, it seems to be I'm looking at the gangster who are shooting the people on the street, I think, and then I will ask our hero, get him more shot, and then I just couldn't stop, because I was so emotional when I saw all those action sequences. And then, so that's why the movie was way over budget. In the old time, the Hong Kong, to make a movie in Hong Kong is very simple. Very simple. There are no politics. And then we just made a movie. And then the financial is very easy. They all they want to do is a good business. So, and then whenever we came up with the idea, we just go to them, they ask, who's the main character? Who's the star? You know, I said, Jordan Fair. You know. Oh, okay. And then, what the story about? Oh, it's a cop and an undercover cop. You know, they almost kill each other. You know. Oh, okay. And then, how much? About a little over $30 million, Hong Kong dollar, of course. Oh, okay. Then go ahead and shoot. And when do we have a script? I don't know. And then we just deliver the sort of outline, and then that was it. You know, and then we made a movie. And then I have an incredible producer, you know, Choi Ha. I have an incredible production team, you know, like Terrence, Cherry, my partner, and then Linda, you know, we're all understanding, and then they always keep their mouth shut, you know. So no one wouldn't dare to talk to me when I'm shooting.
Now, when you approached this film as a director, did you have all the stylistic flourishes, and like, did you know you wanted to move the camera in certain ways, and like, did you just already have in your head how you're gonna direct this movie?
Yeah, you know, the whole movie already in my head, right? And then, but in the meantime, I got so much influence by the musical. You know, when I was a kid, you know, I watched a lot of musical. I think the music was so beautiful, you know, and then especially the song and the lyric and the people were so beautiful, and the camera movement is so good. So when I'm shooting the action sequence, I usually will listen with the headset, you know, to listen to the music. Sometimes it's a popular song, or sometimes it's classical music, you know. And then it really helped me to get the idea of how to use the camera movement. And then when I was young, you know, I was a pretty good dancer. I was teaching dancing, the folk dance at the church, you know. So when I choreography or the action, you know, I feel like I'm dancing with the actors. So, and then when I was shooting the Hard Boiled movie, I was much younger. You know, all the most, 95% of the action was my idea, you know. And I decided all the action, and then I was much younger. I can, you know, roll over the table and live up, you know, shooting with two guns, and then land on the ground and rolling up, you know, and tell the snake coordinator, okay, you put the two guy over there, and then I was shoot over there, and then there's someone behind me, and then I touch, and then I turn and shoot the guy, you know. So I demonstrate all the action if I feel comfortable, and then and I think the actor will feel comfortable with that. So anyway.
Now you mentioned I was waiting for Paul. You mentioned earlier Chow Yun-fat, who's kind of been a leading man for your films in this period. Could you talk about your working relationship from when you first started working with him through Hard Boiled? Because, you know, you and Chow are kind of synonymous, like, you know, Ingmar Bergman and like Max von Sydow, or like, you know, Robert De Niro, Martin Scorsese, and things like that. Could you talk about your working relationship between you two?
It's kind of a very strange relationship, you know. There was a love and hate in between us. You know, in several, in a couple of movies, he almost got, got killed or got, and he trusts me, we have some kind of trust, and we know each other, and then we have grown up, we both are from the bottom, and then we all, so we have, and then we really appreciate each other. But sometimes, honestly, I really demanding when I'm shooting, Like in Hot Boiled, they were shocked, so it's shooting. So, in the hospital scene, they were shocked. He was holding the baby, and holding the gun, running in the corridor, running towards the camera, and the explosion, behind him, and then I had set up 5 bombs around him, and then have him running towards the camera. And then, and then I told the specific guy, so I need an explosion. I think the explosion will blow up while he's running. So, and then for the first day, and he ran, and he started to run, and then he was when he almost ran out of the frame, then the special guy pressed the button, boom, 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 and then blow up everything. I said, what the hell is this? I said, there's no danger. And then the special guy said, because at this time, we're using the real dynamite, economy. And then the special guy said, I didn't want to kill him. So this virus, we have to run out late, okay, let's do it again. When he started to run and I take the shoulder, then you press the button, okay? Into it. And then for the second take, and then Joey Fanny, just 1 second before he started to run, and I take the guy, and he broke everything, and Joey Fanny didn't expect it. And then he was so scared, and then he threw the gun away, keep running. And the explosion all around him, boom up. And then we got a good thing. I was so happy. And then he came up to me, John, are you happy? I said, oh, I'm very happy. The song is so great. And you are a big hero, And then the producer, just right behind me, and then he turned to the producer. They fucking John tried to kill me. God damn it, And I heard that, but I pretend not to hear that. So this kind of relationship, but sometimes when we shot Everett Tomorrow too, and then because I like, the explosion, as big as I can, I just like to see a big fire. It's a big fire. It's very perfect, it looked pretty on the screen, So, and I need my actor, usually close. At that time we have no CG, no computer, no anything, and everything was real. And then once in a while I asked Joey if I could get closer to the explosion. And then wow, when things blow up, and the fireball, the huge fireball, came towards him, and then he touched and turned, and then he burned his hair, and his hair got burned. So anyway, That's our business. So that's why we have a love and hate.
I could see why a little bit. I want to ask you about Chow's counterpoint movie, which is Tony Leung, and like you already mentioned that his character changed from what the initial idea of the script is. Could you talk about like casting him and kind of evolving as a character, because you kind of modeled a little bit on the Melville film *Lay Samurai*, correct?
When we made A View Tomorrow, and you see it about tomorrow, it was the first gunmetal movie I made. It was the first time I seen two guns, the movie. And then, because I've been talking to the studio, I tried to make a movie like the French film *Le Samurai*, which I greatly admire and love it. And the studio always said, John, it's not good. The kind of movie is not good for the market, and it's sort of boring movie, at the time, only the kung fu and comedy, you can make, but so I was so frustrated. After 10 years, I met Chen Hao, my very good friend, and then my movie was failed, and then they, for so many years, and then and I've been looked down for, by so many people, some people even asked me to quit, Anyway, but as Chen Hao support me to make the event tomorrow. So when we do the casting, when I met Zhou Yunfan, I think he's very talented, and he reminds me of Alain Delon and the Japanese actor, Ken Takakura, He looks so cool. And then because since I love the French film so much, so I suggest, he wear the long coat, same as like Alain Delon, kind of like, but Hong Kong was so hot. No one wear the long coat. But I like to put an Alain Delon the image on him. He looks so fit, and then using the Ken Takakura, kind of sunglass, put on the let him to wear it. And anyway, we are talking about each other, and then we have a lot of things in common. Because we both, raised from a slum, and then we started very poor, and then we both had to struggle very hard to survive, to learn anything. So we have kind of like same kind of life experience. So that's why we are finding another thing in common. When we are shooting the film and the dialogue, about friendship, about love, about anything, he said, this also is my life. This is the I also like say the same thing. So it means that we are lot of things in common. And even though we sometimes we like to go up career on the set, so we also can we always had throw some idea from each other, and then even the dialogue, some came from me and some came from him.
Now, I was going to ask you about, because you mentioned musicals before. You're one of the editors on Hardboiled in most of your films for this period. Can you talk about there's a very musical aspect to the editing. Is it something else you're also thinking about while you're shooting it, the way you're going to edit it? Because there's the freeze frames and that kind of stuff. I guess, like, what's your editing process once you've shot all the footage and putting something together like Hard Boiled?
My Hong Kong film, usually I edit by myself. Most of the time, I edit by myself, and I also using the some kind of soundtrack. From other movie for the temporary, for the temporary use, and then I just try to get a rhythm. I got a so good sense of the rhythm, about and then and then I would like to try some kind of experiment, when I edit, suddenly when I edit myself, my assistant director, he used to helping me to find a shot, and then put the shot, together, and hand it to me, and let me to cut the trim, the trim the shot, and then put them together. But so he usually put, every angle, of the footage. Sometimes a little longer head or tail, something like that. And then, when I play that shot, several shots, without editing, and then each angle had a little longer head or tail. When he put a look at, when I play it, it looks so funny. It is so, it looks like a double action. Without trimming the head and tail, it looks like a double action. Okay, make one turn here, and then repeating turn the other way, and then repeating turn the other way. So I think it's so good, okay, let's leave it, and don't cut anything, don't touch, don't do any cut, just leave it there, it looks so charming, and then it became one of my trademark, like a double action, So I'm so fond of editing a film, and then but I cannot do it here, the editor won't allow me to do it.
Now, I also know you're a big jazz fan, and you've been working for a while trying to have a jazz score. Can you talk about actually getting a jazz score for Hard Boiled and how that made you feel?
Well, there's a very strange thing in Hong Kong, for a Hong Kong movie, they hate jazz. Whenever I mention to anyone, they'll say, for this movie, I want to use jazz. Oh, no. They sound like a trying to strangle me and try to kill me, I said, no, why not? And then just old-fashioned, just people don't like it, and the boss don't like it. So I was so frustrated, every time. So till now, a few years ago, I made another Chinese movie, and then I also tried to use jazz, and then they were so scared, the producer, oh, no, John, please don't. So that's why when I shot the Hard Boiled, it was my own company, my own production. So I just use jazz, for Joey Fett. He's a cop, but he loves music and loves jazz, And then I felt so great, and then it also had an outstanding his character.
Now, I do want to ask you about you have a little role in Hard Boiled. You want to talk about how you ended up playing the bartender?
Well, they were so interesting idea. You know, after we finished the whole movie, everybody's so extraordinary, so tired. And then, Joey Fred, he said, you know, hey, John, how about let's do a couple scenes together. I just want to show the real friendship with the audience. We just want to show the real friendship on the screen, let the audience, see it. You know, I said, okay. He was strongly because after the whole day shooting, and then so we had two scenes, you know, and then we had the dialogue. We shot overnight, you know, for the. I mean, the whole thing was he showed his respect. He really respect me, you know. And then I also, have great admire of him, you know. So that's kind of like the master and the apprentice, you know, kind of relationship. He see me as his master.
Because these are now, like a lot of these films from this period, including, we'll be showing A Better Tomorrow 1, 2, and 3 tomorrow, and The Killer tomorrow, you're going to be coming back for Better Tomorrow 1 and 2, and The Killer. How do you feel like that these films have been restored and now are going to be available on Blu-ray and home video for the first time in a long time? How do you feel about your legacy of like this period of your career, just being given a second life for a whole audience who have not seen these before?
Well, of course, I feel very happy. You know, I feel it's kind of like an honor to me. You know, and then in the old time, you know, and until now, you know, I feel like I'm just making movies. You know, and then I have never expected the movie will last so long, you know, and then the people, loved by so many people, you know, I greatly appreciate it. And then the other thing was in Hong Kong, for the director, we didn't have any rights for the movies. We just got paid to make a movie, and then they will see, you know. And then the financier owned the movie, so they can sell the movie to anyone. So I have never seen my own movie, you know, on a big screen, you know, even the DVD, you know. So I've never known how my movie looked like, you know. And then, so this time I was so much appreciative of the South studio. They have remastered all the film, all the pictures I did. You know, so I'm very grateful. And then I heard it looked very beautiful. So I think that is my luck, you know, and I really appreciate that.
John, this crowd here definitely appreciates you and all your work and all your films, not only just from this period, but like all the stuff you made when you came to America, when you went back to China. I kind of want to give you the last word here and free to say, like, you know, your feelings on your career overall, like, you know, just kind of overview of like, you know, your thoughts of, you know, where you started, where you are now, career-wise.
What do I start to do?
Oh no, I'm just saying, just that. How do you feel about your career overall?
Oh, I just feel I've been so lucky. You know, in Hong Kong, you know, when I'm making a movie, you know, I have never dreamed to come to Hollywood. You know, and then after the killer, you know, the killer draw so much attention, and then I got so many calls from Hollywood, you know, from the 20th century folks and even Oliver Stone, you know, so the New Line, you know, the people. So they all wanted me to come to Hollywood to make the movie, you know, and then they said how much they love my movie. You know. And then I was greatly appreciated because I always wanted to learn. I always wanted to learn something I have never learned before, you know. So that's why in Hong Kong there's 2 or 3 kind of movie you only can make, you know, action or comedy or sex, you know, and then you can't do anything about politics, about history, because so limited, you know, and then so that's why I like to take a try, and then and I really love to learn, you know, a lot of things from here, you know, from the people, and not only from the movie, you know, and then there's and by the meantime, it's a really a challenge. The challenge, the biggest challenge was I really want to prove my kind of style also can fit in the Hollywood movies. Also can work in a Hollywood movie, you know. So, and actually it did give me learn a lot from here.
John, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here on the stage. Thank you, everyone, for American Cinematography Beyond Us. Give it up for John Woo, everyone.